If you are parenting a child who struggles with sudden outbursts, you already know that traditional discipline often falls short. You've likely tried the sticker charts, the timeouts, and the grounding, only to watch the pressure build and erupt anyway. These methods fail because they treat behavior as a conscious choice. Research shows that children do not act out to be manipulative. They exhibit explosive behavior when the demands placed on them exceed the cognitive skills they have to cope, specifically skills like flexibility, adaptability, and frustration tolerance. This understanding is the foundation of collaborative and proactive solutions, or CPS, an evidence-based model developed by clinical psychologist Dr. Ross Greene. Over the next 5 minutes, we will map out how to adopt this new perspective. We will build a prioritized problem-solving plan and walk through a precise 3-step script designed to neutralize the triggers that cause these explosions. To build that plan, you will need the Assessment of Skills and Unsolved Problems, or the ASAP. Pause this video, go to livesinthebalance.org, and download a free copy of the form before we continue. We are moving away from the cycle of rewards and punishments. Solving the specific problems that cause meltdowns addresses the root of the behavior, while managing symptoms only reacts to the fallout. Looking at the ASAP form, the entire top section is dedicated to identifying the specific cognitive skills your child struggles with. You'll go through and check off items relating to flexibility, problem-solving, and emotional regulation. Identifying these gaps as skill deficits reframes the child as a struggling teammate who needs help meeting an expectation, moving the focus away from the idea of a defiant opponent. The bottom half of the document is where you list those unmet expectations. In this model, an unmet expectation is called an unsolved problem. This list should contain specific environmental triggers, like difficulty turning off the Xbox to come in for dinner, rather than labels for the resulting behavior. A common mistake here is documenting the crying, the hitting, or the door slamming. Those are late-stage reactions. We need to isolate the exact environmental demand the child could not meet at that moment. Accurately defining the specific trigger is mandatory. If you focus on the ensuing tantrum, you are attempting to solve an emotion. If you focus on the unmet expectation, you have a concrete situation you can actually fix. As you complete the ASAP, do not be surprised if you end up with a list of 20 or 30 distinct unsolved problems. These issues tend to accumulate over time when they go unaddressed. To manage this, we apply a strict triage rule. You are only allowed to actively work on 3 unsolved problems at any given time. Every other issue on that list is put on temporary hold. To filter that master list down to your top 3 priorities, we use a specific algorithm structured around safety, frequency, and gravity. First is safety. You automatically select any unsolved problem that involves physical harm to the child, to you, or to anyone else. Safety issues always take precedence. If safety isn't an issue, or you have open slots remaining, you move to frequency, selecting the problems that trigger explosive behavior most often. Finally, you look at gravity, choosing the issues that have the greatest negative impact on your child's daily life. Trying to correct 24 different behaviors at once ensures that none of them improve. Isolating your focus to just 3 specific triggers gives both you and your child the cognitive bandwidth needed to actually solve them. With your 3 priorities set, you are ready to use the proactive conversational framework known as Plan B. This process must happen when both you and your child are completely calm. You cannot attempt this in the heat of a moment. Step 1 is the empathy step. You bring up the specific difficulty you identified on your list, ask your child what's getting in their way, and then you actively listen without interrupting. For example, you might say, "I've noticed you've been having difficulty turning off the Xbox to come to dinner. What's up?" Step 2 is the define adult concern step. This is where you state your practical, logical worry regarding the unsolved problem. You keep the emotion out of it. No guilt trips, no anger, just a clear explanation of why this expectation matters. Step 3 is the invitation step. You invite your child to collaborate with you to brainstorm a solution. The key here is that the solution must be realistic, and it must address the concerns of both parties simultaneously. Be very careful not to disguise a unilateral demand as collaboration. If the solution you agree on only fixes the adult's problem and ignores the child's underlying difficulty, the explosive behavior will return. Requiring mutual satisfaction does not undermine your parental authority. It actually builds a durable partnership. By involving them in the process, you remove the adversarial dynamic and eliminate the need for defiance. This framework establishes a proactive partnership where you work alongside your child to solve problems before they escalate. You will know you have successfully solved the problem when the specific explosive outbursts associated with that trigger stop entirely, and both of you are reliably maintaining your end of the agreement. Once an issue is definitively solved, you cross it off your problem-solving plan. Then you simply promote the next unsolved problem from your ASAP list and start the Plan B process again. To see real-world video examples of these Plan B conversations in action, visit livesinthebalance.org. And be sure to subscribe to our channel for more actionable, evidence-based strategies to help your family thrive.